to jump on here really quickly and talk about anxiety. I want to talk about anxiety. So I'm a therapist, okay? Marriage and family therapist. And I don't know if individuals that's in you're high functioning professional, right? And oftentimes with high functioning professionals, we deal with stuff. We deal with anxiety, we deal with depression, we deal with insecurities, we deal with stuff, right? And we oftentimes have mastered the art of masking, especially if you're in the mental health field. You've mastered the art of masking. And some things so I always knew my anxiety was high. Actually, no, I did not. I always knew I had anxiety. Like, okay, so a normal level, so anxiety is quite normal. We all experience anxiety at some point. Like, we experience it. And anxiety, it does play a protective role in our life. So anxiety in all in itself is not bad. Okay? Your level of anxiety with crossing the street makes you more cautious, right? You will look both ways. So your anxiety with pain or experiencing pain or, fire or whatnot, it makes you careful when you're cooking. So some level of anxiety is beneficial, it's protective. It's those high level of anxieties that disrupts your day, that becomes incapacitating, that becomes paralyzing. That's when it is not healthy. Okay, so I'm a therapist, and I am very high functioning, and I realize that I experience high levels of anxiety. I've never had a panic attack, but I have just recently, maybe I say recently, but maybe a year ago, I realized that, Crystal, you experience levels of anxiety on a very unhealthy, because it's very intense. It's up there on the scale. It's up there. And what brought me to that was one day, so I got a new job. And it's weird, y'all, the way that this and how this showed up. Because I'm like, you see clients, you've done groups before. So the anxiety was always there. Something about this experience with this new job, it brought my anxiety to the forefront. It was always there, but I was able to keep moving, kind of press it down, kind of, put on my mask and keep it moving. And yet this day, with this new position, anxiety, which was always there, I was able to feel it now, like in a more intense way. And so anxiety for me in a physiological way, where it shows up in my body, is in my chest, my heart, like it takes my breath away, literally. And maybe that is a panic attack, but I don't, anyway, it takes my breath away. I have to just take in guff, this big exhale, inhale, this big breath of air. I'm losing my words, but anywho, so I remember sitting at my desk one day and preparing for my group, and I felt it in my heart, and I did my breathing exercises. And I kept it going. Did my group. Then the next day, the same thing. Then the next day, the same thing. Then the next day, the same. And then I'm like, Crystal, you need to go see someone, because your anxiety level is very, very, very high. And I know that, it takes a toll on my body. Carrying stress and anxiety, it carrying it in your body, like you feel it. It starts to weigh on you physically. I mean, medically, physically and medically, it starts to take hold, right? And so just wanted to share this video because I didn't realize how bad my anxiety was. I didn't realize that. I did not realize that until I came to a place where I could not ignore my anxiety anymore. I couldn't ignore it anymore. And I got to a place where it's like, I am tired of feeling fear, because anxiety is, fear is that root emotion, you know, that core emotion of that anxiety is some fear. There's some level of fear there. Okay? There's this perceived threat that we are encountering that's bringing about some fear. And so I just got tired of feeling that way. Like I'm tired of feeling this stress. I'm tired of feeling this fear. I'm tired of feeling anxiety. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And so if you're at a place where you are a high functioning professional, and if you're experiencing the imposter syndrome, which is a real thing, that is where you feel like you have this fear of being found out, that you're incompetent or you're not good enough, or that your insecurities is going to show. That's, you know, you feel like you're an imposter. You feel like you really don't believe, you don't belong at where you're at, right? A lot of professionals experience that, you know, and it typically shows up behind the scene when we're alone at night, trying to sleep, trying to rest, before we give the presentation, before we meet with the client, before we give the proposals. You know, that's when that anxiety shows up, that imposter syndrome, it starts to show up, right? But because we're high functioning, right before we get to the door, right before we get to doing the task or the role, the responsibility, we mask up. Now, throughout giving the presentation, giving the proposal, sitting with the clients, inside we are shaky. Inside we are like, you know, uncertain of a lot of things. You know, never will be able to tell from the outside, because we have learned, we are the masters of masking. But I do want to encourage someone, say that if you are experiencing high levels of anxiety, right, do not be ashamed to go and talk with someone. Do not be afraid to seek help. It does not mean that you are not strong enough. It does not mean that you are weak. It is not a dig on who you are as a professional, or who you are as a personal. Who you are as a person. It's about good health, mental health, physical health, emotional health. Go get help. If you're experiencing high levels of anxiety to the point where it feels it is incapacitating, you are feeling it in your body, physiologically, it's starting to manifest itself, right? High blood pressure, headaches, sweating, shakiness, nerviness, pacing, not able to sleep at night. I want to encourage you to go get help. Therapists need therapists too. CEOs need therapists. Okay? And whomever else, whatever else professional you're in. Okay? Get help. Get help. You do not have to live with intense levels of anxiety. And carrying that, our body was not meant to carry those high levels of anxiety, those hormones that get released into our body on a regular basis. That is damaging to your body. That is not healthy. Our body is not designed to carry that on a regular basis. So this is my public service announcement. If you're experiencing high levels of anxiety, I'm going to talk about depression in another video, but right now, just high levels of anxiety, intense levels of anxiety. If you're experiencing that on a regular basis, I want to encourage you to seek help. Find you a therapist, or find someone that you can talk to, whether that's a pastor that you trust their counsel, a licensed professional. Speak with someone that can help you manage that anxiety. Okay? The goal is not to eradicate anxiety all in itself. Remember, some levels of anxiety is healthy. We all experience it. It's normal. Okay, it's those high levels of anxiety to where it is now leading you into panic attacks. It is now leading you into, just being paralyzed and stuck at life, and you're experiencing on high levels of anxiety every single day. Reach out to someone. Get help today. Okay, and you're not alone. All right. All right, that's my little tidbit on today. I'm going to put some information in the in my I don't know if it's the description on just some areas, some places, and where you can get help. And don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Okay. All right. Have a great day. Bye bye.